Welcome to Elf in Space. This week we have a special guest, Rob Biddulph, an award-winning children's author and illustrator. Rob is going to guide us to create our very own space masterpiece. So let's meet him and get going.
Hello everybody, my name is Rob Biddulph and I'm a children's author and illustrator. In fact, I'm going to show you a few of my books and bits and pieces and sort of tell you a little bit about myself. So hopefully you'll be able to see my screen now there with my name on it. I mainly write picture books and I illustrate them too, you see. I'm greedy. I like to write the words and draw the pictures. This was my first picture book. It's called Blown Away, all about a little penguin who goes out flying a kite on a windy day. The best thing about this book was that when I first got it published, because it took me a long time to get my first book published, it won a couple of awards, which meant my publisher let me write more books. So I've written lots of books now. I've written books about bears and sausage dogs and pirate penguins. And look, I don't know if you can see, there's a book called Show and Tell that's got a little spaceship on it. We might come back to that in a minute. But I've written lots and lots of books. But the thing that probably most people know me for is something called Draw with Rob. Now, Draw with Rob is something that I started right at the beginning of lockdown. I realized they were going to be closing lots of the schools because of the pandemic, and I thought, well, there's going to be lots of children who are stuck at home a bit bored looking for things to do. So I thought, well, I can help. I can show the children how to draw some of my characters from my books, and they can maybe, because they're not allowed to be with their friends or be at school, they might be able to sort of sit there for half an hour and do some drawings, and it might keep them occupied for a couple of times a week. So I remember watching the news on the Sunday night when they said they're going to close the schools. And on the Monday, I recorded the first video, which was that one you just saw then. And then on the Tuesday, I put it up on YouTube. And by the Wednesday, so many thousands of people had watched the video that I was on the news over here in the UK, because thousands and thousands of people started sending me pictures like these, like you can see here, all sorts of different things we drew over the couple of years of the pandemic. Still doing the videos now, actually. But what I really loved about these drawings is the fact that although we were all drawing exactly the same thing, literally a step-by-step drawing together, look at all these pictures. Every single one of them is different. And that's the beauty of art. There is no right or wrong answer. It's not like maths. You can't help but put a bit of yourself into your drawings. Look at these happy faces proudly holding up their artworks. That's why I love drawing and art so much. People started to say to me, can you do a Draw with Rob video every single day? And I said, well, actually, no, I've got to write some books at some point. So what I decided to do was bring out some Draw with Rob activity books instead that I could send out into the world when I wasn't making a video. So it was full of puzzles and bits where I start the drawing off and you guys get to finish the drawings off. And of course, there were lots and lots of draw-alongs in there too. So that's what you might know me for. But I wanted to tell you about my latest Draw with Rob book, which is this one, which is called Draw with Rob in Space. And I'm very proud of it. I only just finished it. And I'm super proud of it because ever since I was a little boy, since the very first time that I saw Star Wars as a little boy, I've always wondered what it would be like to visit a galaxy far, far away. And you guys, I believe there's a chap called Sultan Al Nayedi, who is the very first Emirati astronaut. He's one of the first two, I think, astronauts from the UAE who's in space. He's in space right now, which is why we're kind of doing this video. And while he might not be in a galaxy far, far away, he's still getting to have this amazing stellar adventure up there on the International Space Station, isn't he? Getting to learn firsthand all about what the cosmos has to offer us. And what's brilliant about it is he's going to get to share his experience with all of us. And I think that one of the functions of space travel, one of the things that it really, really teaches us is just how small a part of the universe we are. Us, the human race are, to us, our lives are huge and they're everything, of course they are. But in the grand scheme of things, we're just this tiny little component part of a much bigger thing. And I think when you get to leave our planet and look at it from a distance, I imagine this is kind of one of the first things that hits you. But because of that, because we are such a small part of the universe, I think it's impossible to think that we are the only intelligent life form in the universe. You know, the universe is a pretty big place after all. So today, now, I thought I would do a little bit of Draw with Rob with you guys. And I thought we would use our imaginations to draw a fellow traveler through space, one of our fellow galactic beings. So an alien, basically. Now, the great thing about drawing something that no one has ever actually seen before is that, well, you know, you can pretty much make it up from scratch, can't you? So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to use our creativity and our imaginations, and we're going to draw what we think an alien might look like, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And there's going to be a bit later on in the drawing where you guys are going to have to add something of your own. You're going to have to use your imaginations, not just draw what I draw. Hopefully you can see my piece of paper here, and you can see my fingers, and I've got a pen here. So what you're going to need for this draw along, all you're going to need is a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil, something to draw with. You might want something to color with a bit later on. And that's it really. And this is how Draw with Rob works. Just in case you haven't ever watched one of these videos with me before, I will explain how it works. Lots of people say to me they don't think they're very good at drawing, right? But I say everybody can draw. As I mentioned earlier, there's no right or wrong answer with drawing. Who's to say what's better and worse? It's not like maths. There's no right or wrong answer. So I say everybody can draw, but some people, they just might need a bit of help with the order that we do the drawing in. And that's where I come in, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to break our drawing of an alien down into little tiny bite-sized pieces. Okay, so I might just draw a little shape here, then I will pause for a second while you copy what I do. Then I'll draw another little shape, then you will draw, then I will draw, then you will draw. I draw, you draw, I draw, you draw, I draw, you draw, I draw, you draw. And by the end, all of those little pieces are going to have joined up to form one picture that we are super, super proud of, okay? Don't worry if yours doesn't look exactly like mine, it's not meant to, okay? I think often if you think you've made a mistake, actually it's those mistakes that add character to our drawing, okay? They're sort of little happy accidents. You know, we don't want to do an absolutely perfect drawing. We are not robots. Okay, so don't worry if yours doesn't look exactly like mine. Okay, I've been talking for a long time. Let's get down to some drawing, shall we? Now, the first thing I want you to do, right in the middle of your piece of paper, I want you to draw a rectangle like this. So kind of a long, thin, horizontal rectangle, just like that. So a nice, easy start to our drawing. Next, above that rectangle, we are going to draw a circle, quite a big circle, like so. So two very simple shapes, and this is going to be the start. Believe it or not, this is going to be the start of our alien. It's quite hard to see at the moment, isn't it? But trust me, it's going to end up looking like an alien. The next thing I want you to do, we're going to draw a vertical line to the left of our circle, and it's going to go up to about halfway up the circle. Like that. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So two vertical lines going up next to our circle. And then we're going to join the two tops of those vertical lines together, but we're not going to go straight across. We're going to go up and over our circle, like so. There we go. Starting to take shape, starting to take shape. So this big circle here is going to be our alien's eye, because I have decided that our alien only has one eye, okay? As I said earlier, we don't know what aliens look like, so we can make it all up. That's the fun of drawing them. So because this alien has got one big eye, he needs one big iris. So what we're going to do, we're going to draw a slightly smaller circle inside that first circle that we drew, like that. Then we're going to draw another circle inside that. Okay. Then we're going to draw another circle inside that, but this time we're going to put that circle towards the sort of the top right of the previous circle that we drew. And then do you know what? We're going to draw another circle, a little tiny one, down there. Don't worry, it's all going to become clear in a second. So what I want you to do next, I want you to colour in around those two smaller circles. There we go. Starting to look more like an eye, isn't it? And then if you add some little lines just going out from that circle we've coloured in, going out to the next one, like so. Our eye has fully taken shape. Let's give our alien some eyelashes. I don't know if aliens have eyelashes or not, but this one that we're drawing today does. So there we go. Some little eyelashes all around our alien. Should we give our alien a nice big smiley mouth? Come on then, why not? Start up here, and we're going to draw a lovely smiley mouth all the way underneath the eye and up to the sides, like so. Let's add 2 curved lines at each end. They're going to be our alien's cheeks. And let's give our alien some pointy teeth. We're going to do one kind of simple upside down triangle, like that, at that end. We're going to do exactly the same at the other end. And there we go. Our alien has 2 sort of fangs. Let's add a few little freckles, some dots and spots and circles, just at each cheek, like that. He looks friendly. I like this alien. It's a very nice alien indeed, I think. Now, aliens, I don't think they have ears as such, in my imagination this is. They sort of have antennae, I think. So this is how we're going to draw our alien antennae. The first thing I want you to do, coming straight out the top of our alien's head, I want you to draw 2 short vertical lines, like so. And then sitting on top of those lines, we're going to draw a kind of egg shape, but like it's like an egg that's kind of fallen on its side, so like an oval shape, like that. And that is going to be the first of our alien's antennae. We're going to draw another one coming out at an angle over here. So let's start again with the 2 lines coming out, but this time at 45 degrees. And then we draw another one of those egg shapes, like so. And let's do the same over here in mirror image. So this time we're going to come out at that angle. So we're going to draw another one of those egg shapes on top here, but then at a slight angle, like so. And there we go, there's our alien antennae. The next thing I want you to do, this is kind of like our alien's, he's wearing a kind of necklace, I think, our alien, like a collar, a bit like a dog's collar. But he's not a pet alien. He's kind of he's his own person, this alien. But what we're going to draw along this collar, we're going to do lots of little circles, like that. So a little bit of a decoration on our alien's collar. And there we go, that is the top half of our alien. Now, do you remember a bit earlier, I said there was going to be a point in this drawing where you get to make something up yourself. You don't have to copy me. And that point, we have reached that point right now, because what I want you to do, everything below the collar is totally up to you what your alien looks like, okay? Now, I think I'm going to give my alien kind of tentacles, a bit like an octopus here. That's what I want my alien to look like. But your alien, maybe your alien has just one great big foot. Maybe has 2 normal, kind of almost like human legs. Maybe your alien doesn't have legs or feet at all. Maybe there's just like, it's just like rocket jets underneath your alien, or wheels, anything you like. I think use your imagination. I don't know, maybe there's flowers growing out the bottom of your alien. That's the thing about aliens, we don't know what they look like, so you can do anything you like. I am, as I said, I'm going to draw the tentacles. If you want to copy me, go for it. But feel free to do anything you like. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to sort of do a big curly line coming out like that. Then we're going to go back in, like so. There's the first of our alien's tentacles. And we're going to turn around. Let's do one coming out this way, like this. It's so fun, isn't it, drawing things that you get to make up totally. We'll do one sort of coming over here, I think, like that. Try and keep them all roughly the same length. Let's try and I'll try and get 2 more in. We've got room, but we're going to give it a go. Like that, a wiggly wiggly one there, and then let's do another one coming up. We have, he's sort of waving at us, my alien, like so. There we go. He's good, isn't he? Tentacles, let's give him some sort of little suckery bits on the tentacles, like that. Here we go. A bit like an octopus, I guess, this alien. Oh, wait, you have to, once you've done these drawings, you're going to have to send them to us. There'll be details how you can do that a bit later on. Well, I can't wait to see all of your drawings. That's a very important part of drawing and a very important part of art. It's sharing your drawings afterwards. Because art is meant to be seen, isn't it? We all want to see everyone else's drawings. And if you're really proud of your drawings, just stick it up on the wall. Now maybe you've got a picture frame that you could put it in, or you could, have you got a fridge with fridge magnets on it? You could stick it onto the fridge with a fridge magnet so that everyone can see exactly what you've drawn. Because you should be proud of your artwork, shouldn't you? Now I'm colouring mine in very, very quickly. As you can see here, it's not the neatest colouring in ever, is it? Sometimes I quite like to colour like this, so it's a bit kind of scribbly. And you can see all the kind of pencil marks. I think it actually is quite a nice way of colouring in. But sometimes I like to do it very, very neatly and take my time to, do things like go slow when you get to the edges when you're colouring in. Because I don't want you all to sit there for hours watching me colour in. I'm going super quick today. There we go. I'm going to do my alien. The main part of my alien is going to be green, like this. Now, if you have a few pencils, you might have like darker shades of different colours. So I've got a darker green here. And what that's really good for is adding a bit of depth to your drawing. So you can see here, I'm adding a bit of darker green just underneath the sort of the egg-shaped bits of the antennae. And it just makes it look like they're sitting a bit forward. And I'm going to shade slightly darker on one side of my alien, like this. So down the right-hand side of the tentacles and the side of his head, and over here, maybe a bit down the bottom. And it just makes your alien look a little tiny bit three-dimensional. And just adds quite a lot to your drawing. You don't have to do this at all, but I quite like doing this, just giving my drawing a little bit more depth. I'm going to add a bit of darker shading underneath the collar as well, and a little bit under the teeth, just to bring them forward too. And do you know what? Let's do a bit around here as well, like that. So you can see I've done that very, very quickly, haven't I? A bit of a gap there, fill that gap in. With drawing, you're always kind of going back over bits, I find. It's very hard for me to know when a drawing's finished because I always want to just keep going back into it and adding little bits here and there that I kind of think of as I go along. I'm just going to fill in a few of the gaps there. Let's colour in the collar. Let's do a nice red collar. This alien, red and green, that's his colour scheme. Looks like a red and green kind of guy. Now this alien, I have drawn this guy before actually. His name, he featured in one of my books. Remember that book I showed you a bit earlier called Show and Tell? And his name is Zorg. Zorg the Explorer. And he's from a planet near Alpha Centauri in my book. Some pencils over there to the side, grab a yellow. Let's put a bit of yellow in these spots here. If you want, you don't have to do the little spots in your collar. Remember, there's kind of no rules to this kind of thing. You can do whatever you like. It's going to have white teeth, but whenever I draw something that's white, I use this funny color here, which is kind of like a turquoisey color. And I just use that to add a little bit of shading. And even though it's kind of bluey green, somehow it makes your whites of your eyes look even whiter. Let's give our alien a nice pink eye. Because you don't see many pink eyes on humans, do you? So I think it's quite nice to make our alien look a little bit different. And put a bit of darker purple there. And there we go. That is our alien there. So as I said, I really want to see your drawings because I can't wait to see how creative you've been in the lower halves of your alien. And maybe you can give your alien a name too. That would be really, really nice. Oh, hang on. I haven't done these, have I? Let's add some purple sucker colors. Yeah, you can think of a really cool name for your alien too. So when you post it, you can see how creative you've been in naming your alien, because Zorg is a bit of an obvious alien name, I suppose, isn't it? Maybe your alien is called something a bit more creative. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just called Brian or Wendy or something. I like the idea of an alien called Brian. Maybe we should write a book about that. What do you think? Good idea? Silence is deafening. Right, the last thing you've got to do for your drawing might be the most important thing of all, because remember earlier I said, oh, another thing you can do if you want to add some alien texture, just add a few dots and spots. After you've coloured it in, get your pen, pick it up, and add a few kind of circles and dots and spots here and there, just at the edges of your alien. And what that does, it gives your alien a kind of your alien's skin a bit of a texture, a bit like my alien, I think, sort of got slightly lizardy skin texture. And so just a few dots here and there. You don't need to cover the whole thing with these dots and spots. Just little bits here and there. It just gives that impression that your alien has got this funny texture to his skin, or her skin. Zorg is a boy, that's why I keep saying he, you see, he's a male alien. Yours will not be. So there we go, a few little textures, dots and spots here and there, just helps to add a bit of kind of texture to your alien. The last thing I want you to do, the most important thing of all, I want you to sign your drawing. I'm going to write my full name here, Rob Biddulph. There we go. Because we need to let everybody know who has created these wonderful works of art, don't we? You've got to be proud about your artwork, guys. Really proud. So sign it loud and proud down there at the bottom. And then, as I said, don't forget to send us your pictures. We can't wait to see them. Now then, I think that's me done. That's pretty much me done. I really hope you've had fun drawing along with me, drawing this alien today. I hope, I'm not sure, I'm really hoping that Sultan Al Nayadi has drawn this alien with me. Imagine if he's drawn this up there on the International Space Station. That would be absolutely amazing. Fingers crossed he's managed to do that. I'm sure he's probably quite busy, but you never know. You should always make time for a bit of drawing. Bit of drawing is always a really fun thing. So listen, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for drawing along with me. Remember, send your pictures in. And I am going to see you again, hopefully very soon. But stay cosmic, keep on drawing, keep those pencils sharpened, and take care, everyone.
You may know that Mars is a red planet and Neptune looks blue. But why are planets different colors, and how do we know? Well, the color of the planet is determined by what they're made up of, and also how the atmosphere around the planet absorbs or reflects light from the sun. The terrestrial planets, or those closest to the sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, have solid rock surfaces, so the elements found within, such as iron, dictate the color. High iron oxide content of the rock on Mars makes it appear red, like rust. Venus has a dense atmosphere and thick clouds of acid that contain sulfur, which reflect light and make Venus appear yellow. The gas planets, or gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, are made up predominantly of gases, hydrogen, helium, and others such as methane, with an almost solid core. The swirling gases absorb some wavelengths of light. Take, for example, the planet Neptune. Here, the methane gas in the atmosphere around the planet absorbs the red light, allowing only blue to be reflected. Next time on Elf in Space, it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy listening to stories and experiences all about space. Don't forget to join us! Now, it's your turn. Follow us on Elf in Space and find out this week's activity. Don't forget to share everything space with us.